You just need to make sure he's working through his flashcards. Please, Phlegm. And I said no, Snodford. It's Tuesday and I haven't even started the next episode. Can't Gainsborough do it? Graham teach common? Do listen to yourself. Fair point. Oh, all right. But don't blame me if he becomes your star pupil. He just needs to get the flashcards down before the Spell Olympics. Come on, Garlic. He said yes. Garlic? I bring cards. Yeah, good work. Right, Mr. Crevice. This is Garlic Breath Sweetheart. Well, that's the common name he's picked anyway. I've never met a sweetheart before. Ha ha. It's something about juxtaposition. They all pick stuff like that. Got one guy called himself Bitter Lemon Bitten Tongue. Anyway, you're good to ignore him for a bit. He's not even looked at the cards yet. Okay. Well, Mr. Sweetheart, you get to and shout when you need me. And Snod, I'm proud of you for taking your job so seriously.
Plethora.
That means a lot.
Wah wah.
Right, I'm off. Wait, you didn't actually tell me where you're going.
Delicious.
That's true. Bye then. Kutam Elunu Dizuamid. Welcome one and all to the human wagon in the caravan on its way into the fort that we all call Hammerlock. The humans' arrival means we're now in the early summer of the 33rd year of the Dimension of Destiny, named the Year of the Auburn Ankle by our Ushildusim dwarves. What reddish-brown lower legs could have to do with things is anybody's guess, but my money is on something dirty. We wouldn't normally be excited by the human caravans, and we're not now, even though Fensast here is the most dwarf-looking human I've ever clapped my eyes on. They've let me see where our road needs to be expanded to, though. Why do I get the impression we're going to be paving the entire forest? Oh, here's something. Our baby Uvash is no more. At 1 year old, she's left the protective swaddles of her mother and is wandering around the fortress gathering articles of clothing to wear. She won't be doing anything after that for a good long while, though. After the unfortunate incident of one of our old dwarven children painting a ceiling, I learned my lesson and have turned all chores off for children. With their number being so high, 6 currently, I don't think it would be a bad idea to find them somewhere to spend their time together. Like a schoolhouse or kennel. Thank you, Vincent Van Drake. Ah, another vile force of darkness. I've called the squads to the hollow hill. Let's wait here to watch for them. Damn, they're taking their time. And the goblins are making their way into the fort. Looking down here, we can see we got the drawbridge closed to the hollow hill, but not without injury. Go, my warriors! I've cancelled their station order, and now they should be hunting goblins down. But it isn't working. They're just sat here for the most part. Oh, Snot, damn it! Ah, here. This seems to be the last goblin, and yes, he's down. But not before he hurt a war dog or two. Ah, this was messy. Well, the siege is over, so we're going to let the dwarves out of the hollow hill. During the fun, we got ourselves some new migrants. This here is Cogsack, a talented potash maker. Now, I could be convinced to ignore my misgivings with ash, not least because it will annoy Betha. Because we could possibly do with soap if we're going to start seeing goblin sieges more regularly. We can't keep depending on luck for infections. Oh, Cogsack got his wig caught in the carpenter's workshop, and he doesn't seem to have noticed. Well, cat's out of the bag now. At least that new cloak is making him happy. Back to soap. I must admit I've never made the stuff before, but I do know that we have a surplus of tallow, and that's involved somehow. This might be a task for another episode. The I can never be bothered to walk my pets, and this is what always happens. Beast Ralu Lifella has come. Ha! Oh, I forgot I called it that. That was mean. Not that I think it'll care in a few moments. Poor thing's bitten off more than it can chew with a full cavern dweller invasion. Actually doing rather well, all things considered. Seems to have gotten a hold of some fish guts, and it's wielding them like a squishy whip. Disgusting, but effective. Oh, it's taking on some cavern crawlers and... yes, well, it lasted quite well. This, for some reason, novice cook, cavefish man, blowgunner was certainly impressed. I think. Anyway, we're back to the humans, except, actually, this is all just set up to show off what I've been busy working on. Above the Lesser's fort, accessed by the stairs here, we have the surface room. You'll note the bronze staircase that heads up from here. They lead to this level, where we've set out archery ranges to train what will be our home guard. Above this are 3 more levels, ending at this one, which has a hole in the floor to the room below. Now I know what you're thinking. Poor warm sock patter step. The kobold we had filtering thoughts? Well, yes, I suppose, but Snod tells me she's eaten something now. In her hands. Oh. You lot have a lot to answer for. Dodoc's gone into a strange mood. One of our members of the Hazy Attics, Dodoc hasn't been doing much of anything beyond training, so she'll be leaning heavily on her rusty skills as an adequate papermaker. She's claimed a leather worker's workshop, so whatever she's making involves animal hide. Now, I believe you can make paper from animal hide, but it requires milk of lime, which gets ash involved again, and we don't do that here, so it shouldn't be paper. Can you imagine, though? An artifact piece of paper. It'd be on brand for Hammerlock, at least. We'll leave her to it. Hopefully whatever she makes won't disappoint too much. Oh, but here's something that definitely won't. Doran has done it again. Or, well, she had help from Vutok. They've got 3 children in the fortress now, 2 of which this poor mother has to carry 24/7. I'm sure that won't hinder her mining in any way. Anyway, we're here for the new one. Everybody say hello to Mebzath Ocean Armor. Mother name there alluding to the little man's propensity to burst into salty tears at the slightest hint he might not get what he wants. We all know a kid like that, I feel. I'd blame the parents, but they're on number 3, remember? It's a wonder any of them are still breathing. Welcome to Hammerlock, little one. Now I look forward to watching you freeload for the next 12 to 18 years. I can't seem to discover a consensus as to when you'll become an adult online. Dodoc is done. Gongash Fak Rilem Ral. Flayed the youthful silvers. It's a cheetah leather quiver that she's gifted to the fortress. I don't love the imagery the name evokes, nor do I much like the connotations of decorating it with an image of the pregnant chant, our gold animal trap. The whole thing smacks of one of those protest art pieces. Protesting what? Who knows? Well, I do. But my barge pole's at the shop having inches added. Thank you for the quiver, Dodoc. I think. I just caught the humans on their way out, and look! I knew the road would be a good idea. I mean, all it does is make our visitors leave a little faster, but imagine what that would mean if we get Betha to use it. Oh, and of course, they keep to the straight line. Well, maybe we'll amend it later. We're following Hammerfist now, and you'll note she's no longer part of the Hazy Attics. We have elevated her to captain of the guard at the head of a new squad, the Sacks of Amazing. Ridiculous name, I know. We let Hammerfist name them. It doesn't even make grammatical sense. What she meant was that her squad, the Sack, contains amazingness. Instead, we've got shocking scrotum. In Vutok's case, that's not far from true, but he isn't in the Sacks of Amazing. Now, if you'll remember, I've set up archery ranges for the new squad, and that's because we want them to be a defensive unit. This means Hammerfist's skills will be a little wasted, but we couldn't find space in the Hollow Hill to honour her there. She couldn't stay cooped in her cell in the Lesser's Fort, though, so she has her own apartment. A bedroom, dining room, and office, all situated above her squad's barracks, and below, well, we'll get to that. She's got gem windows to allow her to watch for threats and to increase the wealth of the room, but other than that, her furniture is fairly bland. I want to get to know our captain first, get some notorious kills under her belt before we give her any more. She seems to like it anyway. The what on destiny was I drinking when I made this beast Conibo has come. You know, I had almost forgotten this thing, mainly out of self-preservation. The pink shell is tough but flexible, which allows the actual beast, something between a leech and a ribbon worm, to manipulate it from the inside. I had some idea of using it to clean out my ears, but, well, would you let this thing squidge around inside you? Oh, Nerom has found it. Never thought I'd be happy to see my brother's stupid mockingbird take down one of my beasts. Yick! You may have noted the plumes of rot stink coming out of our workshops in the Hollow Hill and the Lesser's Fort. Yes, well, I have finally got down to the bottom of it. Me. Here you can see the work details and the list of individuals set to the task of hauling. It is a list of 1. Durr. Durr is the only person allowed to haul in the whole fortress. So we're just going to fix that. Then if we give it a minute... Yes, look at that stock move. Now, I've still not allowed children to haul, but I figure if at least more than one person is working on it, we should see a vast improvement. Might take a little longer to clear out the kitchen in the Hollow Hill. Just when I feel like I've got the hang of this game, I go and do something stupid like this. Omniscient my left foot. And here's our poor overworked Durr. Though, to be fair, I think if she'd spent more time working and less moaning, we wouldn't have been in such a bad position. Equally, if individuals could use wheelbarrows for more than just rocks, it's not like carrying food by hand would be any cleaner than using a barrow either. Oh my me, I've just noticed her age. We had a 67-year-old woman moving everything in our fortress. Did the dwarves know, do you think? I don't know what's funnier, 70 aloof dwarves ordering an old lady around, or 70 mortified dwarves, powerless to stop the commandments of their deity, watching Durr with her Sisyphean task. Did I say funny? I meant horrifying. Yes, definitely horrifying. Talking of horrifying, look at time flying by. Our little Thinner has grown into a child. 1 year since we met him, I can scarcely believe it. Not very happy with him just playing in the leather workshop. I know he's only there because it's where he picked up his clothes, but still, I really do think we need to set up some kind of schoolhouse. Reddit assures me children will interact with other children if you get adults involved. So perhaps for the short term we could put them into the Camouflage College library. Children are safe with orangutans, right? Ah, Meng is here. Now, he's not following the road in, but it's not been there long, so perhaps he's forgotten about it. For all the good it does— Oh, my knee! You can't just cross a road without looking, you stupid dwarf! Stop, look, listen, live! Don't you listen to hedgehogs? My word. Clearly we need to start a class on road safety. I really wasn't ready for that. Oh me, what happened to its face? I didn't do that. Oh my... Oh, it's just running through the cavern and screaming because, well, of course it is. Oh, is that Nerom again? Put it out of its misery, please. Oh, Nerom, you beautiful angel. Oh, shed him, you poor, poor beast. Back to Meng, we go through the usual nonsense, but he's got a little extra for us today. Some world news, which is exciting. Now, I already knew about the elves, we're keeping an eye on them, so I was looking around and I saw these 3 little flashing indicators moving south. This is clearly the news, so I follow it down to here. The goblin pits that we attacked. That's right, Meng has just provided us with the news that we attacked the goblins. Thank you, Meng. I really don't know what we would do without your sharp insight and worldly knowledge. Do be sure to remember not to eat any of the rocks you find on your way out of the fortress, and if you spot anything wide and watery, you've gone the wrong way, because that's the river. Here you can see the sacks of Amazing beginning their training. Now you'll note the drop-off before the targets. That's there to allow our precious iron bolts to fall to the level below so they can be recollected. This isn't working, as I'll show you soon.
I finish flashcards.
Oh, you have? Well, I'm just in the middle of something. Could you perhaps take another look through them, and I'll test you in a few moments?
No need. I can watch.
What? Oh, yes, I suppose, if you're sure you don't need more time.
No, I watch.
Okay, let me just... Here. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, training. The room has been set up with boxes of ammunition and armor and weapon stands around the edges. The armor stands are a little superfluous, as we've only provided the sacks with crossbows. The hope is that they'll never get into close quarters with their quarries, instead peppering targets from the ramparts. But we haven't seen a surface mega threat in an episode, and I'm hoping they hold off a little longer to allow our squad to train. But eventually, I hope to show them off in all their glory. Now, on to the issue with the bolts. As you can see, they're falling down, but then they're disappearing.
Space-time anomaly making for macro-quantum property propagation.
What?
Macroscopic quantum tunneling.
Right, just hush for a few minutes, Mr. Sweetheart, please. Cybrek has gone into a strange mood. She's a talented fish dissector and organizer, so perhaps we're going to get a fish gut sorting system.
That fish?
Yes, Mr. Sweetheart. Fish! Now she has unmet needs that include martial training and needing to fight, but she's already part of the Hazy Attics, so I'm not sure how much more we can do in that department. The wander need could be fixed with a little jaunt down to the goblin pits, though, so perhaps that's something for next episode. Regardless, I need to blast through these flashcards and she needs time, so let's leave her to it. Ready?
Yes. Levy, negative. Foreigners, toward, endearment. Yourself, realize, regulations. Furthermore, accordingly, undertake, myself. bringing responsibilities, therefore, personally, reasoning, appertaining.
Very good, Mr. Sweetheart.
Thank you for help.
You're most welcome. Of course, you wouldn't get this from any other deity. Though I'm sure Snod is never going to give you up. Back to the fortress, and it's the weirdest thing. The bolts from above, see they drop down here, and they're supposed to stop at the bottom of the trench. But they're finding a way down through the floor, to end up in the stockpile below. I don't know quite what is going on.
Quantum tunneling.
No, we're done with the cards now, Mr. Sweetheart. You can stop.
Bolt go through floor.
Yes, we're all mystified by it. It's very strange. But at least we know we can reuse the boats, and that's the most important thing. Then Cybrek is finished. She created non-shut udist avalib mat. Bewitched pleated the lovely sparks. It's a Rymuck, which is sort of like a guitar, if a guitar had 44 strings plucked by a bone plectrum. It's the most metal thing I can imagine. Covered in bone and loops of leather. If Hammerfist has the bows, Cybrek is bringing the axe. And it's definitely her axe, as she's claimed it as a family heirloom. We'll have to get it into her room at some point. I can't imagine she actually knows how to play the dang thing. But perhaps it will help with her unmet needs. Somehow. Thank you for showing us, Cybrek. You've become the envy of all Hammerlock. Finally, today I just wanted to show you what we've almost got in place. The new sunlit training barracks for our close quarters squads. This was our plan all along for how we deal with cavern sickness. A little bit of clean surface air will do our dwarves the world of good and make it so that they stop vomiting every time we send them on excursions. Of course, I've got the sacks of amazing training in the dark, so apparently I don't learn my lessons. But never mind. And with that, we'll bring things to a close. Little bit of a shorter one this time. Mainly because last episode ended up being so long. Trying to get things back to an even year-ish. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button, and if you haven't already, why not subscribe? It costs you nothing, and it brings me no end of joy to see our community grow. Say goodbye, Mr. Sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Nanus Eshon, you most wonderful of individuals. Nanus Eshon. Hello everyone, John here. I just wanted to signpost you to a couple of my fellow under 1k sub Dwarf Fortress content creators. Firstly, there's Story Dwarfs. Their most recent episode at time of writing is a super chill fishing / restaurant fortress thing with some phenomenal music that I believe they made all themselves. And it's definitely worth a watch if you're looking for more Dwarf Fortress content. Then there's Henry Summers. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Their last two videos were so much fun. The first being a The Beatles but with actual Beetlemen in adventure mode thing. And the most recent being a really well done Lovecraftian video that somehow manages to straddle the line between Lovecraft's horror and Dwarf Fortress ridiculousness. More Dwarf Fortress content creators means more eyes on the game, and I don't think that could ever be a bad thing. So yeah, go check them both out and tell them Crumpet Sound sent you. Bye bye.